How did Nala end up getting a heart cake for her birthday this weekend? During our morning cuddles, I decided I'll bake her a cake. We then spent the rest of the day walking, and I completely forgot about it. I figured blending up her usual food was a good idea instead of using flour. To that, I added 2 eggs in total. Here's me cracking my first egg, one-handed perfectly, and then failing to replicate that with the second. There it is. Not too bad. To that, I added 8 teaspoons worth of Greek yogurt, and then realized that it would probably end up a little bit too dry. So then I also ended up adding the same amount in water. This cake ended up completely improvised based on what I knew was fine for dogs, as the cake that I actually wanted to make was a carrot cake, and I didn't have the ingredients on hand. Here's me adding 4 teaspoons of oil, then adding a heaped teaspoon of peanut butter. I blended it up into this paste and loaded that into a mug that I could microwave. And whilst that's in the microwave for about 4 minutes, we can make the icing, and that consists of Greek yogurt, again 4 teaspoons, and a heaped teaspoon of peanut butter. That forms a nice paste. If you add a little bit of honey, then it's tasty for your dog, but also adds a little bit of a gloss. After a good old microwave, the mug cake is ready. And I decided to cut this into 4 pieces as it came out quite big for Nala. I understand it doesn't look very appetizing to us, but I think for something that's an improvisation, it came out quite okay. The next step is marking your lines for the heart shape that you're going to make for the cake. Here I'm not cutting into it fully, I'm just making some marks that make it easier to then cut these edges, as you can see here. The cuts end up making the bottom of the heart, and we'll basically glue these pieces onto the top to make the heart shape more full. And how are we going to glue these on, you ask? Well, that's where some of our icing comes in. Excuse the bad handiwork, I'm not used to doing this with my left hand whilst filming with my right. But they do stick on. And the more icing you add, the more this is hidden away. And eventually you end up with a nice, pretty heart-shaped cake. Then I got Nala's approval, and she got to eat her birthday cake, which she seems to have loved very much. So the experiment was a success. And of course the heart shape was just for fun. Round cakes are also just as good, and Nala approved.